What is going on? And welcome to the video. If you don't know, my name is Jack Gibson. I'm the owner of Fitness Worx Gyms, and this channel is just generally about being a better human being. I preach a lot about taking little tiny steps and being better at something every single day, whether it be better at your job, better at training, better at nutrition, better at making more money, just being a better human being. So that is what this channel is all about. And today, I was going to go over my workout to start with. Unfortunately, I didn't record it all because I lent my girlfriend my memory card and she unformatted it. So we got halfway through and it kind of cut out. But I can still go over my leg session and go into why I believe if you should squat or why I believe you shouldn't squat to grow bigger legs, stronger legs, more powerful legs, bigger glutes, hamstrings, whatever your goal is, should you squat to get better lower body development. So I thought I'd start by talking about my session, then give you a bit of a backstory into my own training and go into bits that I have done, both bodybuilding, powerlifting, strength training, loads and loads of cool stuff, and try not to waffle and bore you in the process. First of all, let's go into my session today. I train at 5 AM. Sometimes talking to this camera can be a bit OTT at that time in the morning. Hard enough to get out of bed, let alone having to kind of give a personality to a camera into YouTube, and I'd probably just be very crap. So first exercise, I started by doing just leg extensions. I did single leg extension quite quick. Did probably 4 sets today. That's just to kind of get the blood into the legs. This was a quad dominant session. We are trying to kind of split quads and hamstrings. Sometimes we do a little bit of hamstrings at the end of quad, but we are trying to split the session up. So one session is quad based, one session will be hamstring based, then we go from there. So we started on single leg extensions, just 3 to 4 sets of 15, sometimes 20 reps, just to get the blood into the muscles, get your knees lubricated, if that's a word, and just to try and warm everything up. I then didn't squat today. No real reason why I didn't squat today, I just didn't feel like squatting. So we did 4 sets of heavy leg press, which was 10 to 15 reps. I went on the higher end. I tried to keep my rep range a bit higher today. Then did some kind of isometric holds in between. So that is where the muscle is fully lengthened, but you are still contracting it. Again, this is just a way to drive more blood into kind of your muscle. I saw it earlier in the week on Mark Bell's channel when he was training with Stan Efferdin, that they did kind of a heavy leg set straight into an isometric hold. That leg press was pretty savage towards the end. The 4th set of those iso holds started to really burn. What you need to do though is make sure you're concentrating on the muscle. If you're doing an iso hold but using kind of like your calf to prop you up, or you're not in the correct position, it's more like a sissy squat. So if you're sat in a sissy squat position, leaning back, feeding your quads, pushing your toes out, pushing your kind of weight through the ball of your feet and twisting your feet out, really feel a solid contraction on your quads. Exercise 3 was walking lunges. After we've done such an intensive exercise where we've filled the muscle with blood and we've kind of really exhausted that muscle, was to do a walking lunge where we could kind of stretch. I saw it on Mark Bell's video, and I've seen it on a lot of these future people I'm going to be talking about in a minute's videos, where they do a very concentrated exercise, then they go on to a bit of a stretch kind of. I did a lighter weight, a wider stride, and I really tried to feel the stretch in my back leg and then concentrate on the contraction through my front leg. Hack squat. I love a hack squat. It is an excellent exercise as long as you have your feet positioned in the correct place. If you don't, sometimes it can hurt the front of your knees. My knees do hurt a little bit at the moment. That's why I do try and wear knee sleeves. I have SBD knee sleeves. They are sick. I did a medium stance and my feet weren't dead wide. They were kind of around here, and I really tried to concentrate on getting my glutes into heels of my feet. So I really tried to open up a hole, and I sat right into it. Again, this is going to concentrate on more your VMO, so the front of the muscle at the front of your legs, so it's kind of the top of your kneecap, and concentrate on like the outer sweep of your quad. Most people don't really need to worry about that, especially if you're not bodybuilding or anything like that, but that's the way I think about it. I'm thinking about creating like a sweep on my muscle. But if you're just trying to build thicker, stronger legs, just lift. Just get on the hack squat, find a comfortable position, and just press that weight. But again, make sure you keep your glutes pushed into the pad, your lower back not too arched, your hands into the position where you can hold them, and your head back, chin up. That's just the correct technique. You just concentrate on bracing everything. It's very much like a squat, but you're not going to be so vulnerable in the same position as a squat. It's very still kind of condensed down. And then the last exercise, again, we finished off with the same as the first. Just 3 sets of single leg extensions, 15 to 20 reps, burning them out, completely kind of exhausting the muscle. Then we went home. It lasted about 40 minutes maybe. 1, 2, should you squat? Should you squat to get big legs? And my answer is no, you do not need to squat to get big legs. Squatting is cool, squatting is manly, squatting is alpha, squatting is just a cool thing to do. If you go into the gym and see someone racking up 5 plates and doing some massive squat with knee sleeves on, belt on, you just look cool as fuck. I get that. But one of the best times my legs looked when I got on stage and used to compete was when I did a show before I did a lot of squatting. The reason I couldn't squat at that time is because I just finished playing rugby. I tore my hip flexor from my hip and I didn't have very good movement in my hip. So coach at the time said, don't worry about squatting, let's just do a lot of isolation. So I did a lot of leg presses. I did not deep leg presses though, because I couldn't go too deep. I did a lot of lunges, I did a lot of split squats, I did a lot of goblin squats, sissy squat. I did an absolute ton of kind of volume, so big sets, big reps, lightweight. I did loads. I'm absolutely exhausted my legs. I then did a year of powerlifting and squatted heavy. I actually hit 300 kilos, what I'll put in now. At 300 kilos, which was a big weight. It wasn't the nicest squat, but I was knee wrapped up. I had a belt on, had all the sniffing salts, and I smashed out a 300 kilo squat. I could rep quite a lot of weight, but I then dieted for a show a year later, and my legs looked a lot more chubbier and not so defined. So I believe that squatting didn't really help my leg development over the years. I could have probably maybe got a bit leaner and looked a lot better, but I still felt that the sheer volume and the reps and the high intense kind of isolation work I did before made them look a lot better than doing 1, 2, and 3 kind of power work for the following 2 years. So again, give and take, I've done them both. And aesthetically, I'd probably concentrate on just doing high reps, lots of volume, lots of kind of concentration, like leg curls, leg presses, hack squats, front squats, and really go to town on those. If I wanted to become strong, look alpha as fuck in the gym, I'd probably do front squats, back squats, SSB squats, and do a lot of heavy, short rep range work. So my opinion is you do not need to squat to build big legs. It helps, and for some people they only need to squat, and for some people they need to do a lot of isolation work. It all depends on your genetic makeup and depends what your goal is. I thought I'd do now just put in a few clips from professional old school bodybuilders. Ones that have come up over the last 10, 15, 20 years that have some squat, some don't squat, and some just talk about how much volume they do in each session. You have the like of Tom Platz, who has probably the sickest legs you'll ever see. Then you have people like Seth Force, who is a small 2-on-2 bodybuilder. He's got insane legs and he trains like an absolute madman. Then you have the legend Dorian Yates, who is renowned for having just a massive physique. So I thought I'd drop those 3 in here now.
I progressed over the years and experimented, I should say. I decided that I wanted to try something different to change the look and the inherent qualities of my muscle development in my lower body. And after coming in contact with people like Vince Caranda, who doesn't believe in squatting, I don't know why, but he does believe in hack squats. And he talked about doing hack squats the way I do them now. I really didn't look at his theories and do it. I was doing it one day and realized that he had the same belief as far as hack squats. I believe in going down, at this point, stretching as far as you can, pushing up. Very careful when you do this on your knees. I'm blessed with strong knees. Knees are a very strong joint, by the way, but the pressure on the hack squat can be very deadening, or any pressing move can be deadening to your knees. But again, my leg biceps seem to hit my calves all the time, take pressure off my knees. That's something I think this is unique to me. Always almost start out with a lightweight. I get into doing reps first on this, a lot of reps. I go to pretty much to failure on the lighter weights. As I move up the rack, add more weight, I get sloppier, but I feel very much still I can contract the muscle. Now ready? Push the machine up. Help me get reps. You grab my ankles, the front of my ankles, other side. Okay, now I want you to push from there, okay? Let go. Then we go down and push again. Now real fast, in a rhythm. Get a rhythm. Ready? Go. Yeah, that's it. Push. 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 Yeah, keep going, keep going. Kill me. Come on. Do it. More. Faster. Now stop. Now push down the machine. Grab the machine and push down, and I'll fight. Push harder. Harder! Come on! Forward! Okay, keep on. Okay. Good. Danke.
I still swear to the leg press versus the squat for leg size in general. So when I started bodybuilding, every book I read, every magazine said that you can't get good legs without squatting. And Tom Platz was like a hero of mine, and Tom Platz was also a huge advocate of squatting. So I was doing the squats in the gym, everyone was doing squats. But I got an injury on my right hip from squatting. And I was going like, you know, Tom Platz, like ass on the floor. I even had the special weightlifting shoes and all that stuff. Squats are a good leg exercise or great, depending on your structure. If you can squat like Tom Platz, because it's quite short and his upper body is not very long, so when he squats, the majority of the stress, the majority of the lift is doing with his quads. And leg press, I could go heavy without any risk to my lower back. So those exercises, I got better results, and people that I train as well, generally I don't do free weight squats with them unless there's a reason to, and they get great results. So you know, the lesson is listen to your body. If you're doing squats and it's working great for you, then, well, you know, continue. If they're not, then try something else.
How I place my feet and where I push with my toes and feet and heels and wherever I'm doing, it's going to dictate how and where I'm hitting on my body, on my lower body. I'm not in this just to move the fucking weight. If you're in this for your ego on leg day, you're fucked. Because some of the guys that are the strongest people on the fucking planet do not have the biggest legs. Simple as that. So get that shit the fuck out of your head. This needs to be systematic. You need to understand that each exercise you're doing has a purpose. Whenever you're doing walking lunges, whenever you're doing stiff-legged deadlifts, whenever you're doing anything, you have to visualize what you're trying to achieve and make that happen. Don't get caught up in having this motherfucker loaded full and being like, I can do it all. No one gives a fuck. If you're going for powerlifting, no, fucking do it all. But if you're going for bodybuilding, you need to be able to visualize where you're hitting, feel where you're hitting, and then make it work, and then continue to work up in weight. But don't work up so much in weight where you lose that focus on what we're trying to do.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions or want to ask me about training or anything, nutrition, or just anything really, make sure you comment below, drop me a message, follow me on Instagram, do whatever you got to do, but I will catch you next time. Peace.